Kerala Sri Arif Mohammad Khan ji, Minister of Local Self-Government, Rural Development and Excise, Government of Kerala, Sri M.V. Govindan Master, Officiating Vice Chancellor Professor K.C. Bajuji, distinguished guests, students, faculty and other staff members, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to be among you today on the occasion of 5th convocation of the Central University of Kerala. At the outset, let me congratulate the graduating students and also the teachers and the staff of the university. I always feel glad to be among students, especially on an occasion like this, which is a major milestone in their life's journey. Indeed, it is a memorable day not only for you, but also for your family. You have completed a program of higher education, and that has empowered not only you, but your family too. When you realize that the whole nation is your family, your achievement today invariably contributes to the nation building mission. Some of you will pursue further education and some may take to professional career. I wish you all success and hope that you will keep in mind the interest of the nation in whatever you do. Dear students, when I am in an educational campus, I experience a vibrancy which is rare to find in any other place. Education, as Sri Narayan Guru reminded us, could uplift the quality of the student's life and thus also of the society. The great sage and social reformer used to inspire people with his lines like Vidya Kondu Prabuddha Ravuka, which signifies get enlightened through education. The lives of great men and women, especially the leaders of our freedom movement, highlight the simple truth that schools and colleges are the most important sites of personal and social transformation. These are the workshops where the destiny of a nation is shaped. The liveliness and energy that I experience in educational places like this beautiful campus come from the possibilities of social empowerment. Here is a place where ideas are nurtured, taught and learnt. In this process, the atmosphere gets energized with the vitality of thoughts to give birth to new ideas. This unbroken cycle of knowledge is essential to empower the society and the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, in the promotion of education then, the task of government is to help create the right environment in which the young minds will be fired with creativity. The National Education Policy of 2020 is a well-planned roadmap to develop an ecosystem that will nurture the talent of our young generation. The NEP aims to prepare them for the world of tomorrow, while also equipping them with the best of our own traditions. India is, after all, the land of Nalanda and Takshashila, of Aryabhatta, Bhaskaracharya and Panini. Gandhiji compared the indigenous educational system with a beautiful tree that perished under colonialism. An effort is being made to rediscover its best aspects so that India makes a contribution to the world that it alone is destined to make. At our annual conferences, I have had the occasion to discuss the implementation of the NEP with Vice Chancellors of Central Universities and directors of other educational institutions. The consensus is that the reorientation of our educational policy was long needed and that it has the potential to turn India into a hub of knowledge. I believe that the most outstanding feature of the NEP is that it aims to promote both inclusion and excellence. Through its varied curricula, NEP promotes liberal as well as professional education because each stream of knowledge has a role to play in society and in nation building. That way, the NEP can become instrumental for India to harness and reap the demographic dividend. The growing population of our country makes it incumbent upon us to nurture the next generation talent. When the younger generation is provided with the skills and knowledge required for success in the world of 21st century, they can do miracles. Ladies and gentlemen, the 21st century is described as knowledge century. Knowledge power will determine the place of a nation in the global community. In India, Kerala has led the other states on the critical parameters of literacy and education. This has enabled Kerala to be a leading state on several other parameters of excellence too. As you all know, Sri P.N. Panikkar had worked tirelessly to increase literacy in Kerala, which has the highest literacy rate in the country. I will be unveiling the statue of the late P.N. Panikkar on the coming Thursday, December 23. Sri Panikkar is an icon whose commitment to education should inspire everyone, especially the youth. In the context of Kerala being a leading state in the area of learning and education, let me share with you a recent development about which some of you may be already informed. The Union government has recommended names of 3 cities from the entire country for being listed in UNESCO's global network of learning. Out of them, 2 cities are from Kerala. These 2 cities are Thrissur and Neelambur. Being part of the global network supports the achievement of the sustainable development goals, especially the goal of ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. As far as gender equity is concerned, Kerala not only has favorable sex ratio, it has also been on the forefront of women empowerment. I am not surprised at all that all the 3 gold medal winners in today's convocation happen to be our daughters. I am also glad to note that the number of daughters who have received degrees is nearly thrice the number of boys. I have been told that our daughters constitute 64% of the total number of students in the university. I have been observing this growing empowerment of daughters through education in other parts of the country also. In this empowerment through education of our daughters, I see the India of the future, which will become a knowledge power with rich contributions from our daughters. Let us give a big hand to our daughters.